All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Look, today we're treating this breakdown like your ultimate masterclass. If you've been eyeing the budget-friendly Lanos Exercise Bike, because it's cheap and folds away so nicely, you really need to know the absolute truth before you go ahead and hit that buy button. We're going to go through all the key concepts, the definitions, and those crucial specs you have to evaluate before making a purchase. So grab a pen because I want you to treat this explainer like a literal study guide for your wallet.
Now, here's a totally startling statistic to kick off our session. Literally half the people who buy this specific model end up returning it. Why? Simply because they bought the wrong version for their height. They just kind of failed to do the research. But hey, that's exactly why we're here. This whole explainer is designed to save you from making that exact super common mistake. We'll break down exactly who this bike fits and, honestly, just as importantly, who it absolutely does not.
So the specific bike we're looking at today is the wildly popular under $200 Lanos Folding X-Bike. Now, a huge common mistake buyers make right out of the gate is confusing this exact model with the brand's more expensive, heavy-duty indoor cycling spin models. Don't mix them up. This one right here is the budget home fitness model. It's that 2-in-1 upright and recumbent bike you've probably seen popping up all over Amazon and Walmart.
Okay, let's jump into Section 1, the blueprint, design, and build quality.
This brilliantly illustrates its absolute biggest selling point. By just pulling a simple pin, you can transition the entire frame from a standard upright position to a recumbent, kind of semi-reclined setup. For example, seniors, or really anyone with lower back pain or knee issues, they absolutely love this feature. Why? Because it takes all that nasty pressure right off their joints. It literally transforms a standard, grueling workout into a much more accessible, low-impact exercise session.
And it definitely packs some really great budget elements. First off, it's an X-frame. That means it folds completely in half for super easy closet storage, and it just rolls right away on its front transport wheels. It also uses a magnetic resistance system, meaning there are no loud friction pads rubbing together. On top of that, the console has a built-in phone or tablet holder, and on most versions, you even get heart rate pulse sensors right there on the handlebars. The seat, it's nice and wide, padded, and comes complete with that absolutely crucial backrest we just mentioned. Plus, reviewers consistently state it only takes about 30 to 45 minutes to assemble using the included tools. Now, a super common mistake here for learners is expecting smart features. Remember, the LCD monitor is very basic. It shows your time, distance, speed, and calories, but there's absolutely no Bluetooth and zero app connectivity. Actually, let's do a quick recap of Section 1 before we move on. In short, the Lanos X-Bike is a basic, easy-to-assemble, foldable, 2-in-1 magnetic resistance bike perfectly designed for small spaces and low-impact home workouts.
Digging through real user feedback though, the absolute biggest win is the noise level. Because of that magnetic resistance we just talked about, it is whisper quiet. An excellent example of this in practice, users say it's genuinely quiet enough to watch TV while you pedal. That makes it an absolute game changer for thin-walled apartments or those late-night Netflix-fueled cardio sessions where you really don't want to wake up your neighbor. Moving right along to Section 2, the reality check, spec confusion, and hidden downsides.
Okay, pay attention here because specifications vary wildly by seller. And honestly, Lanos doesn't always make this super clear. Some older models out there offer 8 levels of magnetic resistance and they max out at a 220-pound weight capacity. But the newer 2-in-1 models, they feature 10 levels of resistance and can hold up to 264 pounds. So, a very common mistake buyers make here is just blindly adding the cheapest listing they find to their cart without checking these exact numbers. You absolutely must check your specific listing carefully to ensure you're getting that upgraded capacity if you need it.
Let's evaluate the real-life performance pros and cons. The good news? That wide saddle provides surprising comfort for a solid 30 to 45-minute ride. However, you really must be prepared for the universally disliked cheap, small plastic pedals. Users point this out constantly as the one obvious place where Lanos clearly saves some money. Plus, another common downside is that monitor. Look, you kind of have to completely ignore the wildly inaccurate calorie counter. Just use the time and distance metrics as your guide because the calorie tracking on these budget bikes is, well, famously unreliable. Oh, and another minor note, you often have to supply your own AAA batteries for that monitor, so be ready for that. So, let's do a quick recap for Section 2. Always verify your specific listing for weight capacity and resistance levels. You're going to enjoy the comfortable seat, but you definitely need to expect cheap pedals and a totally inaccurate calorie tracker.
All right, on to Section 3, the crucial fit, the #1 warning. I want you to memorize this number right now. 5 feet, 11 inches.
That's about 180 centimeters. If you are over this specific height, please do not trust the product listings that claim the bike fits users up to 6'5". It's just not true. Real-world users consistently report that if you are over 6 feet tall, you're going to feel incredibly cramped on this thing. The adjustable range on the seat is just simply too limited for long legs. It's a huge deal breaker.
Conversely, we've got to look at the other end of the spectrum too. If you're under 5'2", be warned. The frame's step-over height is surprisingly tall for a folding bike. For example, some shorter users have actually reported needing a literal small step stool just to get their leg over that middle bar to mount the bike safely. Crazy, right? Okay, time for a quick recap on Section 3. The safe Goldilocks zone for this bike is roughly 5'3" to 5'11". If you're outside those parameters, you are highly likely to experience fit issues.
Next up is Section 4, the alternatives, finding your perfect match.
So, what if you don't fit? Well, for those who still desperately need a folding frame for a small apartment, but require a much higher weight capacity and more legroom, you really need to consider the Exerpeutic's folding magnetic upright bike. This guy is the Lanos' direct budget competitor. It operates in a very similar price range, but it often accommodates slightly heavier and taller users. But again, always check the current specs on their listings as well because, you guessed it, they also change periodically.
But what if your workout goals are totally different? Like, if you want a hardcore, sweaty, intense hill climb workout. Well, comparing the light, foldable Lanos to a heavy-duty spin bike like the Yosuda shows exactly why serious cyclists need to just ditch the folding feature altogether. The common mistake here is expecting the Lanos to act like a Peloton. Guys, its top resistance is really only suitable for a walking pace sweat. For heavy flywheels and intense standing climbs, you absolutely need the stable, non-folding geometry of a true indoor cycling bike. Quick recap for Section 4. Need a larger folding bike? Go look at the Exerpeutic. Need an intense spin workout? Check out the Yosuda or the Lanos indoor cycling model instead.
And finally, Section 5, the final verdict, before you buy.
Okay, get ready to screenshot this because here are the 7 non-negotiable things you absolutely must review to guarantee you're buying the right product. Number 1, verify your height and weight against the specific listing. Number 2, double-check if you're buying the 8 or 10 resistance level model. Number 3, while it folds up tiny, make sure you actually have about 4.5 feet of floor space for when it's totally unfolded in recumbent mode. Number 4, check that the standard 1-year warranty actually applies to your seller. Number 5, remember that high step-over warning for shorter users. Number 6, have those AAA batteries ready for the monitor. And number 7, if you're in the UK, availability is super spotty, so you must carefully check import shipping and warranty terms.
To summarize this beautifully, this machine, which is usually priced somewhere between $150 and $180, is an incredible, undeniable value for beginners, seniors, and really anyone short on space who's just looking for light to moderate, quiet cardio. But it is an absolute skip for tall riders, heavier users, and anyone wanting a heavy resistance, Peloton-style workout with fancy app connectivity.
So now that you know all the hidden catches, the wild spec variations, and the strict physical limits, the ultimate question is, does this bike actually fit your specific needs? But hey, before you answer that, just as promised in our study guide format, let's lock in your knowledge with 5 quick revision questions. I want you to test yourself right now. Question 1, what's the maximum user height before the bike feels cramped? Answer, 5 feet 11 inches. Question 2, what type of resistance ensures the bike is quiet enough for watching TV? Answer, magnetic resistance. Question 3, which digital metric on the monitor should you completely ignore because it's inaccurate? Answer, the calorie counter. Question 4, what is the main reason you must check your specific seller's listing carefully? Answer, because weight capacity varies between 220 pounds and 264 pounds depending on the version. And question 5, if you want a hardcore out-of-the-saddle spin workout, should you buy this bike? Answer, absolutely not. You need a heavy-duty indoor cycling bike. Well, if you got all those right, you are officially fully equipped to make a smart, informed purchase. But honestly, it begs a much bigger question for you to ponder. Is the convenience of a folding frame ever really worth sacrificing the performance of a sturdy bike? That's definitely something to think about before you start building your home gym. Thanks